Saw dudes, I haven't made a Void Warlock build in a bit and wanted to try out Contraverse Hold. Today's build focuses on having the highest Vortex Grenade uptime and makes use of their high damage and area denial. The weapon loadout for today also takes care of all three champion types, making it an unkillable triple threat in endgame content. This build plays a bit slower than others, but makes you feel like a juggernaut. In the background, you'll see me clearing a Legend Lost Sector 5 light below the recommended level. Let's get started. Nova Bomb is the best super for most content. Nova Bomb Vortex is good for stationary targets, whereas Nova Bomb Cataclysm is good for fire and forget encounters. I just use Cataclysm because it doesn't require too much thought to use. Healing Rift is the best safety tool, especially during times when enemies keep pouring in. Pocket Singularity is the only melee choice we have. It knocks enemies back and applies a volatile debuff on hit. Finally, Vortex Grenade will be the grenade of choice for today. It will be our best form of ability damage and area denial. The two aspects for today are Chaos Accelerant and Child of the Old Gods. Chaos Accelerant allows us to overcharge certain grenades. In our case, Vortex Grenades receive a 70% increased radius and an increased burn duration of 4.2 seconds, up from 3.2 seconds. Child of the Old Gods causes our rifts to spawn Void Souls. These little buddies create a 10-meter draining field after coming into contact with an enemy and weakening all inside. Because we are running Healing Rift, we will regen 3.5% of our grenade and melee energy every 1.4 seconds per enemy leeched. The fragments for the Teletubby build are Echo of Instability, Persistence, Remnants, and Starvation. Instability makes grenade kills grant volatile rounds to our weapons for 10 seconds. Persistence causes void buffs like Devour to last 40% longer. Remnants causes Vortex Grenades to last 50% longer. Finally, Echo of Starvation causes Pick Up an Orb of Power or Void Breach to grant Devour for 5 seconds. Let's cover the Tinky Winky armor. For the helmet, I equipped Harmonic Siphon, Heavy Ammo Finder, and Ashes to Assets. Ashes to Assets can be swapped for Dynamo depending on how you play. On Contraverse Holds, I run Grenade Kickstart, Firepower, and Bolstering Detonation. For the purple jumpsuit, I chose to use Concussive Dampener, Charged Up, and Harmonic Resistance. On the boots was Stacks on Stacks, Invigoration, and Insulation. Lastly, on the bond, I equipped Bomber, Powerful Attraction, and Time Dilation. 100 Resilience is nice for this build, but not completely necessary since Devour will drastically increase our survivability. Next up, go for Max Discipline to lower Vortex Grenade cooldowns. You can also put some emphasis on recovery for lower Rift cooldowns, but again, it's not required. If you like big suck grenades, please consider subbing. I would greatly appreciate it. I only have one weapon loadout for today, but it's been the best in all of the testing that I've done. That being said, feel free to switch weapons. Let me know what you come up with in the comments. Weapon loadout 1 uses Riptide, Age-Old Bond, and Leviathan's Breath. This setup can take down all three champion types regardless of seasonal mod type. Riptide with auto-loading holster and chill clip is a stunning tool for overload champions. Rapid fire fusions are great for melting champions in close range, but suffer in the total damage department. I chose Riptide as the first recommendation since it is very easy to get for Crucible matches and because it is accessible by the whole player base. However, if you do like to raid, consider using Deliverance. Deliverance can be crafted with Demolitionist and Chill Clip. It does the same thing as Riptide, but has a little more utility. Demolitionist refunds 20% of our grenade energy on kill and reloads the gun upon throwing a grenade. This, combined with Devour, Grenade Kickstart, and Contraverse Hold, makes it so that grenades regen within 10 seconds or even less. Age-Old Bond is responsible for busting through barrier champion shields with Echo of Instability. After killing an enemy with the Big Suck Grenade, Void weapons are granted volatile rounds, which pierce through champion shields. I found that Age-Old Bond was consistent from range and offered great utility. Repulsor Brace and Volatile Flow is a general auxiliary and survivability role that I would recommend for most people. The Overshield can help take a few extra hits in high-end content, which is probably for the best. The second role I experimented with was Repulsor Brace plus Golden Tricorn. Golden Tricorn provides a massive 50% damage buff when fully stacked, and because grenades are regenerated so quickly, it'll be active almost all the time. Both are pretty good, so choose based on how you like to play. Finally, we come to Big Papa, the Hollow Purple Thrower, Leviathan's Breath. This bow intrinsically stuns unstoppable champions, and fully drawn arrows create a concussive blast on hit, heavily knocking enemies back. These perfectly drawn hits also apply Volatile for even more explosions. The Catalyst grants it a greatly enhanced version of Archer's Tempo and ups the reserves to 15 shots. Leviathan's Breath has the highest sustained DPS of all heavy weapons in the game at base and performs extremely well as a champion and boss killing tool. Let's close out the video by covering the game loop. Start combat by charging a Vortex Grenade and chucking it at a group of enemies. After throwing the grenade, cast a Rift to regen some grenade energy and summon a Void Soul. Tag an enemy with a weapon to send the soul there and get even more energy back. At this point, try to collect an Orb of Power to proc Devour and send out another charged Vortex Grenade. Keep repeating this process, using weapons in between grenade and rift casts. Use your weapons to stun champions and play around cover. Just be sure to use your nades to hold off enemy spawn points. Rinse and repeat. This build is quickly becoming my favorite. I know handheld supernova is cool, but I feel like it does lack a bit of versatility. I like being able to handle crowds from a multitude of ranges, and VORTEX Grenade lets me do just that. Let me know what you guys think. As always, thank you for watching, and happy farming.